Welcome to Reread. Today I'm going to finish through the rest of the tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina. This has been a lot of fun. The first one is from Jennifer Robertson. It's called Soup's On, the Pipe Smoker's Tale. Danik Jericho discovers that Han Solo's soup is for him and he wants it. It's his precious. First time we get to know what Anzadi are, and I think it's really awesome. Jennifer Robertson wrote a Highlander novel that I read, really enjoyed it. It's too bad she didn't get a chance or get a crack at writing something for Bantam. Who knows, if they would have kept the rights, maybe Jennifer would have gotten the nod to write a story, but I definitely would have wanted to hear it. Now later on, she continues and concludes Danik Jericho's story and tells from Jabba's palace. But at this point, we had no idea. It was just part one is a setup, and it's fine for what it is. Basically, just you're getting to learn what the Anzadi are. He's an assassin's assassin. You understand what soup is when someone has enough life experience, enough luck. He is the luck eater. He drains the pockets from his cheeks that go up into your nose and suck your brains out. Really scary stuff. They're the vampires of the EU. The next one is Jerry Olton. It's at the Crossroads. This is the Spacer's Tale, basically about Boshek. Boshek is shown very briefly in the Cantina, and it says that he just beat Han Solo's Kessel Run record, but that's because he had an empty freighter. Okay, but then he brags to Han like, hey, I beat your Kessel Run record. And I was like, well, what was the point of him beating it? Why does he have to beat it? I don't understand. Remember, in the movie, he's talking to Obi-Wan for just a minute. What were they talking about? Boshek is interested in the Force. He may be Force sensitive. In fact, Obi-Wan says, I wish I was here longer, I could teach you more. He actually asked Boshek if he can transport them to Alderaan, but Boshek doesn't have a vehicle. In fact, he strafed and killed a few TIE fighters on the way in, and the Empire's looking for him too. And when they find him in the Cantina, he busts away, he breaks away, runs from them, disguises himself as a preacher, a street preacher, and preaches about the Force. At the end, very confusing, he gets away from the stormtroopers by using a Jedi mind trick. He says, oh, thank the Force. I don't know what just happened, but that worked. Out of all of them, this is my least favorite. This is my least favorite. Surely you could have come up with something better. The story just seemed to ramble on with like no point too. So wasn't that good. Probably the worst one of all these, but these are actually overall very good. The next one is Kenneth C. Flint. It is Dr. Death, the tale of Dr. Evanson and Ponda Baba. And this one, it takes place after A New Hope. So I'd have to move this further on down. It could take place months later, I'm guessing. But I know this because Ponda has a metal arm now, a mechanical arm, a rough mechanical arm. And he got Dr. Evanson off the planet. And they're on the Aqualish, Ponda Baba's planet. And they're working for this governor. And there's tiers of these species, depending on what type of hands they have. If they have nice flipper fins, they're the upper crust. If they have hard, kind of claw-like hands, like Ponda Baba does, then they're of the lower brute class, so to speak. Well, it turns out Dr. Evanson has been doing some Frankenstein stuff. Like, you possess a body, and then you do a body transfer switch. And so he finds a good-looking body. He wants to get rid of his face, A, because it's ugly, but B, because it's wanted in 12 systems. He has the death sentence in 12 systems. And Ponda Baba wants a fresh, young, same species from him so he can go back to having two arms and being whole again. Well, he ends up taking this senator or the ambassador who's there to check on him because he's kind of getting worried. He's taking a lot of heat from the people of his planet going, look, I don't think I can house you here. They say you're criminals. He went, we are, and so they capture him, they capture this other person, they do a transfer, but when Dr. Evanson wakes up, he finds out that the kid that he took it was all a setup, and the kid was looking for revenge on something that Dr. Evanson supposedly killed all his family too. Ponda Baba is dead now because it turns out that instead of Ponda Baba transferring into the senator's body, the senator transfers into Ponda Baba's body. He says, no one's going to believe me now, and now I'm of the lowest class ever. So I'm going to lose my high estate here. I've lost all my power, my riches, my fame, so I'm going to try to end you too. And they set off a bomb in the lab. The kid thinks, or the kid's family think, hey, we finally got Dr. Evanson, right? He's dead. But no, he survives and lives to fight another day. He's like, my this little Frankenstein project didn't work. He'll have to think about what went wrong. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Now, his story is going to continue too, which I had no idea that would ever happen, and I can't wait to get to that one. But because this takes place at least a month later, I'd have to put it back a little bit further. It wouldn't happen right after New Hope. It seems like some time has passed since then, so maybe a year ahead, and I'll change that on my timeline. But let's get back to another short story. This one's from M. Shane Bell. It's called Drawing the Maps of Peace, the Moisture Farmer's Tale. I guess there's a moisture farmer somewhere in the Cantina. I don't know. He's listed at the end as being in there. But there's a moisture farmer from Alderaan who's trying to he has made friends with the Jawas, and now he's trying to make friends with the Sand People. And the rest of the farmers are like, what are you doing? You're crazy. Sand People are awful. They're evil. You know, it's like, no, we can all have peace together. And they don't like him because he's a foreigner from Alderaan. He doesn't understand their rough, toughened world. But when he gets his moisture farmer friends to invite Jawas to the wedding, that is hilarious because when the Jawas arrive, they start asking questions, which the farmer has to answer. It's like, no, they will not consummate the wedding in public. And then when they look at the wine, no, we are not drinking their blood. And he's like, do Jawas drink each other's blood at weddings? And then before they drink it, they ask, how much is this going to cost us? Because they're not used to having gifts brought to them. So they say, no, these are gifts. They're like, oh. And so they just start knocking these spice drinks back, getting all tipsy. But then Tusken Raiders attack and capture one of the moisture farmers, kills a few others. The main farmer from Alderaan, I can't think of his name right now because it's kind of written in first person too. He goes after the girl, works a trade with the Tusken Raiders, but realizes that it's the Empire who is pitting all the Jawas and the Tusken Raiders and the moisture farmers against each other. That's all they're doing. They're meddlesome on the planet. He's just done with it. And so he decides that he's going to join the rebellion. It's a fun story. My favorite part and the highlight of the story is the Jawas at the wedding. I mean, they couldn't decide what present to give the couple, so they brought all of the ones that they discussed with the farmer. I don't know. I thought that was really good. That was fun. So overall, the story is pretty fun. The next one is, or the last one here, is Judith and Garfield Reed/Stevens, husband-wife team up, wrote One Last Night in the Mos Eisley Cantina, The Tale of the Wolfman and the Lampoid. Now, I said this happens after Return of the Jedi, and I still have that on my timeline. Still happens after Return of the Jedi. But since it is in this book, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. This is great. This is a great short story. Basically, Lac Sevrak, who's the Wolfman, meets Dice, who is the Lampoid, the kind of worm thing in the original cut. Sadly, they CGI'd a character over in the new editions. But those two were lovers. They first met at the Mos Eisley Cantina. He fell in love with her, and she was part of the Alliance, and so she convinced him to join the Alliance. Well, she died late, and all these are flashbacks as he's crashing on the planet Endor during the final battle against the Death Star, the second Death Star, in Return of the Jedi. He's about to die, and his mind or body, he keeps like quantum leaping, if you will, into the Mos Eisley Cantina. He's like, wait, I've been here before. I know you. There's a droid about to walk through, and they're going to say no droids allowed. And then that happens. He went, what's going on? And she's like, I told you, you know, the Force is everywhere. We are the Force. And then he flashes back to the Battle of Endor, where his X-Wing's getting shot down. He may not be able to pull up. Then it goes to Hoth as she dies during the invasion of Hoth, and he has to disintegrate her body because he doesn't know what the Empire will do to the dead body. Clone it, mutilate it, whatever. And then it flashes back to the Mos Eisley Cantina where she's still talking to him. I told you we would always be together, and that death is, not for us, or whatever. She's spouting off all these sayings, I guess, platitudes. And the whole time he's going, wait a minute, we're back. The droid's going to walk through the door. He's having deja vu again. And he keeps flashing back to all these things until he finally realizes he died during the Battle of Endor. Jabba's dead. The rebellion is won. The Emperor has fallen. Darth Vader has fallen. And they're fine. They're going to be together forever. And he goes like, whoa, we're shining. They're like Force ghosts at this point. And she says, yeah, I told you. We are, the Force binds everything together. Now, they don't say that they're Jedi. They don't even say they have the Force in them. They're just saying, hey, if Yoda is right, and he says the Force binds us together, it's everywhere. It's in the rock, the tree, the wind, whatever, Okay, well, then it's in us too. We just don't have access to those superpowers, and it's just like a religious belief. I believe in the Force, and that's what she tells him when she dies on Hoth. She went, you have to trust in the Force. You have to believe in the Force. It's like they're in heaven now. Now they're in heaven, they can spend eternity together, and as his life's flashing before his eyes as he dies, she's basically explaining this to him. It's actually the best story in the entire book. It's really wonderful. Overall, Tales from Mos Eisley Cantina. I wish I had 10 more of these thumbs to go up on them, because it's excellent. It's an excellent series. Well worth your time. You can probably get a paperback for really cheap here, and you should pick it up, and you'll enjoy every page of it, I think. All right, folks. That's it for now. See you next time.